Have you ever booked a train ticket in India? Of course you have, and that means you've used IRCTC. But have you ever really stopped to think about how they actually make their money? Because it's not just from the ticket price. Today, we're diving into how this company became what a lot of people call a money printing machine.
No, seriously, you're going to want to stick around for this one.
Because we are talking about a company that gets a piece of the action from every single train journey in the entire country. Booking a ticket, ordering some food, even just buying a bottle of water. Yep, they're getting a cut. And here's the really wild part. They do all of this without some massive marketing budget. For their main business, online ticketing, they have pretty much zero competition. Just let that sink in for a second. So here's the best way to really get your head around IRCTC's business model. You have to stop thinking of them as a travel company. Instead, I want you to picture a digital toll booth, just perfectly placed on the giant, non-stop highway of Indian railways. All right, so where does most of the money actually come from? Let's get into their real cash cow. And I'll give you a hint. It is probably not what you think. You know, most people assume IRCTC makes its money from, well, running the trains. That seems logical, right? But it's wrong. The real engine driving their profit isn't on the tracks at all. It's online. It's all about the clicks. I mean, just look at this number. We're talking about 1.5 million railway tickets sold through their website every single day. The scale is just mind-blowing. And this is the incredible power of what we call a digital monopoly. For every single one of those 1.5 million tickets, IRCTC adds a small convenience fee. Now, here's the genius part. The cost to run that website, it stays almost the same. So every extra ticket they sell is nearly pure profit. That's scalability on a whole other level. Okay, so that's ticketing. Now, let's see how they use all those people to fuel their next major moneymaker. I like to call this the captive customer machine because they are absolute masters at serving an audience that literally cannot go anywhere else. Think about it. If you're running a food business, what's your biggest challenge? Finding customers, right? You have to advertise, you have to compete on location, on price. So where on earth does IRCTC find its food customers? And the answer is so simple, it's brilliant. They don't have to find them. Their customers are already there, trapped inside a moving metal box for hours at a time. It is the perfect captive market. So out of those 1.5 million people traveling every day, about 100,000 of them place a food order. That's a massive, built-in customer base that just shows up like clockwork every single morning, and IRCTC doesn't have to spend a single rupee on marketing to get them. And their catering model is just so smart. It's what you'd call asset light, which basically means they don't have to deal with the headache of owning thousands of kitchens. They just partner up with food vendors, take a commission, and that's it. The train moves, people get hungry, and IRCTC earns money. It's really that simple. But wait, there's more. Beyond the two giants of ticketing and catering, there are these other kind of hidden income streams, the profitable extras that just quietly keep adding to the pile. And once again, they're just leveraging their position. You get thirsty on a train, the main bottled water you'll see is Rail Near. Well, that's them. Want to book a tour package that involves trains? That's them too. These are like fantastic side hustles built on top of their main guaranteed income. And don't mistake this for small change. Combined, these so-called side incomes brought in over 1,100 crore rupees in revenue. That is a significant amount of money from what are essentially just add-on services. So we've got the ticketing toll booth, we've got the captive catering machine, and we've got the profitable extras. Now let's tie it all together and really get to the investor's secret. What makes this entire model so incredibly powerful? This right here, this is the core of it all. Most companies spend a fortune trying to create customer demand. IRCTC doesn't have to do that. The demand is already there. Millions of Indians need to travel by train every single day. IRCTC just has to stand there and monetize that massive, pre-existing flow of people. This creates this really powerful and predictable profit chain. More passengers automatically leads to more ticket fees. More people on the trains leads to more sales of food and water. It's a cycle that makes their earnings incredibly stable. Plus, as India grows and more people can afford higher class tickets, that means even higher profit margins for IRCTC. The growth is baked right into the system. So if you take away one single thing from this, let it be this quote: IRCTC is not really a travel company. It is a highly efficient money collection system, a digital toll booth
that has been masterfully built on the unstoppable river that is India's railway traffic.
And that leaves me with one last question for you to think about. Now that you see this digital toll booth model, what other companies can you think of that operate in a similar way, kind of hiding there in plain sight? Something to chew on.